Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Nima Akasha Zibere, how you doing? In the building. How's everything? You came a bit more composed today. No stress, traffic. Was there traffic today?
You don't want to know. I mean, nothing. Nothing
like
at all
experience.
Like what I go through. Yes, every day. I didn't get home with my car till past 10 on Tuesday. Oh, wow. And the car didn't get home. So I had to go get it this morning at
Are you for real?
It's not funny at all. But I need this shout out.
Thank you.
The transformer at Folami Close, okay, Raogba, it's not working. Okay. And it's been bad for a while now. This shout out came and they begged me to call out Ikeja Disco to assist them.
Have they written to them? Because that's usually the process.
I didn't get that information, but they're asking us to use this platform to please beg them to assist. So, Mr. Felix, now, you know, as my big bros in Ikeja Disco, please help. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I have a birthday shout out. She just said, my name is, hi, my birthday is on Thursday. We'll be happy if you wish me a happy birthday, Ruthie. I think her name is Ruthie. She didn't put her name, her full name. Happy birthday, Ruthie. Many more years. Yes, ma'am. You have somebody? You want to say that? Okay, go ahead.
No, okay.
There's more for me, but go ahead.
Okay. I really don't have much banter, just that very funny thing happened today. So because we use a green screen, we can't wear green. So when we wear green, it looks like we're melting away. And I forgot. And all of a sudden, it seems like everything I own is in green. So I had to, that's why I was a bit late today. So that's my banter.
Okay, I went to see Princess the Comedian on Tuesday.
Yes.
And her movie, Body Bag, is out.
Yes. Congratulations!
This movie is on domestic violence and the extreme story of it. So I think it leads to that. I'm still at like 2-3 scenes into the movie. I've been watching it and over, but I need to complete the movie. And I've asked her to please come and talk about why she will do such a very, very strong.
It's been nice to have her on the show. It would be lovely to have her on the show. Because domestic violence is right, and we talked about it. I have 2 more birthday shout outs. Ronku, she didn't give her full name either. She just said, please, I want you to wish my husband's birthday is on the 20th. She didn't even put her husband's name. So Ronku's, I got her message. Happy birthday to her husband. I think 20th is this weekend. Sometime this weekend. I said happy birthday to her husband. And somebody very special to my family. She's Mrs. Aderemi Yahaya. She's 50 today. Happy birthday, Yabiji.
Big 50.
The big 50. Happy birthday to you. God bless you. Many, many more years. Okay, on that note, we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Right, we're going to start with the nation as usual. Military to rescue abducted pupils, whichever way. Boom back at border communities as President orders reopening of the borders. Christian leaders seek constitutional review to halt national crisis. It's time to review revenue and police structure, says Governors Tinubu at Ajimobi's lecture. Minister, COVID-19 vaccines likely for Nigeria in January. NCC SIM deactivation deadline will create confusion. And money agents flout CBN's dollar payment directive. Okay, which stories are we taking in the nation?
Okay.
One second.
Yes, I do.
Okay. COVID-19, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the military to rescue abducted pupils.
Okay, well.
So the governor of Katsina was talking, and he says that the responsibility of getting the abducted pupils, of course, is on the security operatives, the military. But his government is also in talks, which is separate from what the military is doing, in talks with the bandits that abducted these children through Mieti Allah. So they're having negotiations on this. The military has, of course, separated itself from these negotiations. It says that, but the government has the right to carry on that negotiation, but the military doesn't involve itself in negotiating with bandits, and it will do everything that it can to make sure that they bring these children back. They locate them, and they're trying to make sure that the location of the children have not been changed, since they last located them. So we're just praying and hoping that these children come back to us safe and sound and complete.
I was going to, and I think Governor Masari, in addition to that, Governor Masari was saying that they were not abducted by Boko Haram confirmed.
Yes.
He was saying that it was actually local bandits. And in another paper, they were saying that what happened was that Boko Haram actually recruited the local bandits. There's a specific name, which I think I have later. Who he's a popular crime chief in that neighborhood. And he was going to organize for the children to be abducted and then transferred. He's doing everything to ensure they don't move the children. So at least they can get them. There was something that caught my attention. The third annual roundtable, Abiola Ajimobi roundtable, and his 71st posthumous birthday, where governors, lawmakers, traditional rulers, and political associates gathered. And I think Aisha just said something that was important. It was represented by Dr. Femi Hamzat, that's Deputy Governor of Lagos State. He said our system remains too centralized with too much power and money remaining within the federal might. The imbalance leads to relative weaker states, and they need an overhaul of the entire revenue allocated between the states. So that's only way we can strengthen our economy, according to him. Okay, which story in the nation, which other story took your attention? Let's move on. Daily Sun, ahead of Christmas, FG reopens land borders. Appeal court frees May 2 orders fresh trial. National Assembly alters budget cycle, extends implementation to March 2021. I'll fight Boko Haram to a standstill, says Zulum. NIN, FG to rake in 3 billion naira, and how Alpha, who impersonated Buhari's aide, GMD builds houses in the says witness. Okay, which story are we taking? Major headline. Land. That's your area.
Four borders. Somewhere in the south, and
yes,
Ilela and
Megatari
borders. And this, of course, has excited a lot of businessmen. They are thanking Dangote for negotiating between the two countries to reopen borders to Cotonou, to Niger, Benin Republic. And so businessmen in Nigeria, since hopefully, yes, people like Ehi on our Twitter will be excited about this. He's criticized.
But there was a negative and there was a positive angle. So I hope the negative, the reason why it was closed in the first place, has been actually.
Exactly.
I think PR should be high on the goods still banned across land borders. So yes, certain foods are still banned.
I think poultry is still banned.
Yes, rice is also still banned across land borders.
So they need to ensure. Yes. Okay, I was going to take the appeal courts. So as you remember, Olisambitu was jailed for allegation for receiving 400 million naira from Dasuki, remember?
And 7 years after.
And 7 years after, the 3-man panel of justices of the appeal court held that the judgment given by Justice Abang against Metu in February 25th was laced with bias, and on that note, he was. They didn't throw it out, but I think the
delay itself is some form of injustice.
7 years. Delay.
I wonder if Metu turned out like this, how Dasuki zone will come. So,
I know. We'll see how.
So what are they saying, that this is gone and then they'll have to do it all over again? What does that mean?
Based on some technicalities, they're asking that they start a retrial all over, I think.
This same judge actually also squashed Dasuki's indictment. I know. Let me see.
That's Kokona Bang, yes.
He said that the court made damaging comments against Dasuki without giving him a fair hearing. Okay. Just Ada held that Dasuki not being charged as a co-defendant in the case or given an opportunity to defend himself, his comments against Dasuki were unwarranted. So he's challenging what Justice Abang had proclaimed. We'll see how it goes.
Read the judgment.
Hey, somebody will be suing the government very soon.
No, not yet.
When he's finally out, hopefully. Yes. Okay, Vanguard. Kidnappers in talks through Miyeti Allah, says Masari. Picture here of the dormitory, the empty dormitory. This is not a good sight at all. I mean, there's no mother that will see this that will not break down. So this is the site of the empty dormitories where the boys were. Some of the pictures of the escapees. Panic as fuel pipelines burst along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Additional Shehu Lord Buhari at 78. Oh, really? It was his birthday. Money laundering charge. Appeal court nullifies Metu's conviction. I didn't know it was his birthday. Insecurity. Reps order NCC to extend SIM registration deadline by 10 weeks. Wow. COVID-19 vaccine arrives Nigeria in January. Buhari orders reopening of Seme, Maigatari and Ileha borders. Okay, which story are we taking?
Benue State. So the governor of Benue State, Samuel Altom, is asking that the youths of Benue State defend themselves against bandits and kidnappers and that attack them because of yet another attack that happened recently. Around 11 p.m., a lawyer was killed. He was a pastor, Gospel Faith Mission, his wife as well, an 88-year-old blind man, Mazugu Nyiko. Two of his sons, one was killed, the other was able to escape. And this is also just after another attack. And the governor was one of the first people to get to the scene, and he was just lamenting that, you see, for many of them who got into politics, they were hoping to come and add value, not to watch people being killed over and over again, and that the security operatives have been doing their best. You know, they're chasing them through the forest to find their location, but that they're trying their best about the cattle rearing, if it is cattle rearing and the conflict that happens that is causing this. So they're trying to make sure that they do cattle ranching. You know, that's what they do, because there are countries who have even a lot more cattle than we do, and they're able to live peacefully with farmers. So the ranching seems to be the best way to, you know, stop this conflict between herders and farmers.
I wanted to take the story of the pipeline along the Magboro axis of Lagos, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway that exploded due to construction by Julius Berger. According to the reports in the Tribune, the contractors were trying to do some form of digging, and they went into this gas pipeline that caused chaos. But I like the fact that immediately my Twitter notification from news dropped, and there was a travel advisory warning people to, to avoid that side of town, and that caused a lot of traffic, of course. But the fact that there was immediate notice to people, because that alone is, we don't want another fire on that axis of town.
So we've been told that when we get the Minister of Health, Dr. Ehari, was talking about the vaccines, and they're saying that they're going to be getting from two sources, WHO and the Global Alliance for Vaccines, those are Gavi. So those are the two sources. And the problem, however, is that there are two types of vaccines. One is that ultra freezer, ultra deep freezer, and the other one can have a regular refrigerator. So the issue is that I just hope it doesn't get bad, but they might have to get the freezers so we have to accommodate a lot of vaccines, because we need them from all the sources that we can get. And obviously, the countries that these are being produced will definitely want to take priority for their citizens. But we hope to get it from, because we've already applied earlier. So we should get it by January.
People will be ready, because most of the vaccines already we give children at birth as immunization are supposed to be freezer.
No, they're usually in the refrigerator. This one is asking for it. There are two types. So there's a refrigerator type and there's a deep freezer. You know,
Dr. Lee, you mentioned that these particular vaccines need to be kept in cold storage. And even here, the report is saying that, the logistics, the cost of delivery and storage with our continuous carrying of light. No light has gone. Please.
No, we
just wear your mask, wash your hands, and follow the guidelines.
Already. Yeah. So let's not make it like it's rocket science. We import things that come into this country frozen regularly.
That's true.
I hope this is not a way to find money, because people are really making money under this pandemic. I saw the PM in England debating.
I'm thinking of how I enter a hospital to take a vaccine for my child, and they just open one fridge that is probably not even functioning, and they bring out
light had gone for 24 hours.
So is that the kind of vaccine that they want to be giving?
The country itself, our federal government may be able to do it, but when you start taking this vaccine to our local hospitals and our healthcare centers,
you and I can get access to those ones, but if they have to take the rural areas, how would they get this deep freezer type? How?
God help us. Block business now. Ice block business will go up.
I want to go and start.
Nigerian Tribune, our final paper for this morning. Katsina, Boko Haram recruited 3 local gangs to kidnap schoolboys. Devolution of power, state police revenue generation resonate at Ajimobi Roundtable. 2023 presidency, no agreement to surrender ticket to South after Buhari says Yerima. Appeal court nullifies Metu's conviction. Let's find another story. 2 killed as Chinese Hausa miners clash at mining site in Oshun. I wish I read that story. 16 months later, Buhari opens borders, and national crisis recommend urgent constitutional review. There's a story that I wanted to take. Any story that caught your attention here? There was one actually that I really wanted to take. Okay, I just can't find it anymore. Okay, I think that's all we can take on front page review. We wrap up on that. Today's Thursday. We are talking about housewives. You know, how can you be a successful, productive housewife? But first, we have our guests from Mr. Choco. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us now is a factory director of Mr. Choco and Sister Choco Peanut Chocolate Spread, Mrs. Helen Essien. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell us about Mr. and Sister Choco. They seem to be brother and sister.
Yeah, they are.
Sister
Very
Choco.
best companion.
Oh, fantastic. Tell us about your brand.
Our brand is actually Mr. and Sister Choco is a locally made product.
Okay.
The factory is based here in Nigeria. It is 100% locally sourced. All our ingredients is 100% locally sourced. And it is very natural. It is very natural. It is produced here. And there's a lot about the product.
What exactly is this product?
The product is actually a chocolate spread.
Ah,
Yeah, it's a chocolate spread.
nice.
So
Let's
how
talk
do you use it? How would you use it?
And we use it for so many things. The use is very, very many.
Yeah.
We have so many ways of using it. But actually, it's a spread. You can spread it on your bread.
Okay.
You can use it on your donuts. You can use it on your biscuits. You can also just lick it direct like you are just licking a normal sweet.
Right.
You can put it in the fridge and it becomes a chocolate candy, like a bar. So you just peel it off and just start chewing it. So
I love chocolate. They know I love chocolate. So, I was
You
really
see that place you go to, I was hoping you would not get there. And you solved the problem. Because I was hoping, you know, when we see locally made chocolates in Nigeria, it's almost like small chocolates, a full bag of sugar. Is it that, what's the content of, sugar? How balanced is yours?
Ours is very balanced because we know that here we are trying to be very healthy with what we're taking. So our ingredients, they are very, very measurable considering our health. So that's why we have the peanuts in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a little bit of sugar.
Yeah.
We have the cocoa powder itself.
right.
And we have the milk.
Now, I like your business model because when you hear chocolate spread, you think foreign, you think international. And even the Nigerian brands, they're fairly expensive, but you're giving 15 naira options. So for the average, everybody, for me, you've spoken to Nigerians. Why did you choose this business model? What exactly was the idea?
The idea was for us to get a very good quality product, to become the best loved, the most loved brand, and to make sure the product is available for everybody, just to raise the standard of living for people, Because on a very good day, chocolate is very expensive, but we want everybody to have a taste of the chocolate. That's why we go for this model. It's just 15 naira. It comes in a sachet.
Can you please bring it up? Let us see what it looks like. So our mothers can recognize it.
Yeah,
And
it comes in a sachet and it's just 15 naira.
Wow. So the kids can even take it to school.
Yeah, you
as a
put
snack
it in.
bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it in the
exactly.
fridge, and it can become a snack bar. And pull it up.
Okay, me, I'm very local like that.
Nice.
So this
So
is
like your butter spread. You just
yes,
pull it
like
out.
it's spread. You just pull it out.
See, I'm a chocolate lover. Sorry, guys. I use chocolate. When I was back then, when I was not in the weight loss, when I was in the outside the weight loss circle, I use it for my crackers. I use it for. Sometimes I even make sandwiches with it with different things.
This is actually for you.
So exactly. So it's limited. But I was really concerned about the fact that it's not too sweet. Is it too sweet? I've not tasted it, but that's what Minima was trying to say. Because many here in Nigeria are very worried about feeding our kids with too much sugar. So just give us again exactly what the percentages are, if you do know, or just reassure us as parents that is healthy enough for our children to take?
For Mr. Choco, we have our children in mind.
Okay.
We have our consumers in mind.
Right.
So we ensure that the most important thing that is needed there is the cocoa powder, the milk, and the peanuts. So for the sugar, it's just a little bit of the content of the sugar, just to bring that that chocolate.
Have you tried it with pap or Gary?
Exactly.
Because we're in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Put it on your pap. You don't need any other thing.
That's all. Yeah.
You can use it with your gari. Just pour it inside the gari, just twist it, and you are good to go.
Let me teach you another one.
I don't think you have answer
You
for
can
that one.
spread. Let me teach you another one. You get regular gari, dry gari. You put it in there. You mix it. Makes a whole new paste. You spread it. Oh my God!
Try that.
We are really a lover of chocolate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so also I think I love your colors and the funny characters on it, because usually when we have like Nigerian brand, we always talk about the packaging is not so inviting. So why is there any special reason for this character?
There's a story behind
Mr. and Sister Choco
Yes.
and the colors.
There's a story behind it. Mr. and Sister Choco, they are heroes.
Okay.
They came from the Choconut town.
All right.
So the chief in the Choconut town became old, and he couldn't really produce this again. So they have to go and look for the recipe. The recipe was hidden somewhere. So they went all the way out to look for the recipe. And when they came, they didn't go to anywhere. They came to Nigeria.
Ooh, that's a good story.
And they just discover a place in Nigeria where they can get the cocoa, where they can get the milk powder and everything, the peanuts, that is the regular granules, everything. They discovered everything here in Nigeria. So they didn't have any choice. They have to settle.
Let's talk for Mr. Choco. Let's talk for Mr. You just mix them. Is there a specific brand that is Mr. Choco? I only see Mr. Choco here.
Yeah, Mr. Choco. Okay, I'm going to use this as our Sister Choco. If you can see it on my shirt. This is it on my shirt too. So this is the Mr. and the Sister. Our Sister Chocolate.
No, what Mora is trying to find out is there a different taste?
Because it's only Mr. we see here.
Yes.
So is there one that has Mrs.
Yes, there's one that have this.
And it has a unique taste to it.
But I think she went on a special mission somewhere. That's why she's not in the studio.
Yes, I hope she brings other flavors next time. Apart from the peanut flavor, are you looking to do other flavors?
Yes, we are really looking to do other flavors in the nearest future. But for now,
do you hope to have it in the jars? Because most spreads that we know are they come in jars. Are you going to plan to have jars? You're just going to have it in the sachets?
Jar is soon coming. We are really working on it. Very soon it's going to be launched.
Congratulations. We like to hear Nigerian stories like this. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I will support you the best you can. It's good to see Nigerians thinking, doing things.
Quickly, how well distributed is it? Is it available in markets already? Or we're calling for
We are really trying our best to ensure that is everywhere in Nigeria, in the market, but Lagos is huge.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're here in Lagos for now?
We are in Lagos, we are in Ibadan, we are in Anambra State, we are now in Kano and Kaduna.
Well done, well done.
And I wish to announce that we are presently rocking Shagamu.
Oh, Shagam!
Oh, nice. So you'll be looking for distributors and others. So people are interested and they can come to you.
Yes. For our distributors, people that are really willing to partner with us to be the distributors, we look forward to have you guys. You can send us messages on our social media handles, and you can reach us on our telephone number. It's always on 24/7. We go nowhere. That's where we are. Our telephone number is 090-0903 000 2815.
Fantastic. So our producers will scroll that number so that people can see it. Well, thank you so much for coming. We love chocolate, and we just wish you the best. We wish your company the best.
Thank you.
It's all Nigerian, and we're proud of it.
Thank you so much.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, now start discussing our Thursday matters. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So recently, an activist, Aisha Yeshufu, said that your mother is the first person you should keep out of your marriage once you're married. Nigerians have reacted to this on different fronts. I would like to hear your views also, and would like to discuss it on the show. You can call us on 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your VTVC so we can read your tweet. So, do you agree that your mother should be the first person that you should keep out of your marriage? Based on what Aisha has said, many people, some agreed and some completely disagreed with her. What are your thoughts? Let me start with.
Completely agree with her.
You agree with her? Okay.
Totally agree with her. I think that just like every marriage, there are only two parties to that marriage, and a marriage is for matured minds. So if you think you need to come into your marriage with your mother, you need to rethink marriage. It's not for you. If you come into that marriage with the rights of another person, very important in your mind, you're going to do a disservice and a lot of injustice to one of the parties of the marriage. And in our society, because of the role and the place where we put our mothers, especially religious-wise, in Islam, we need our affairs to clearly separate these two positions clearly. And I think that's where she's coming from. Because in Islam, the role of the woman, the mother of every person, is high. It's so high that people don't understand how to separate it in marriages, especially men. So God has said that your paradise, your attaining, goodness in the hereafter is under your mother's feet, and you must be kind to your mother. And it was emphasized 3 times. The role of the mother in Surah Al-Luqman, in Surah Al-Ahzab, I think, but I'm clear of the one in Luqman, where God emphasized how they suffered, how they had to carry you 9 months, win the pregnancy, and put that role of honor for them highly. Is clear. And just as a man has it, so does a woman. So when you mix it up and think, that means that your mother becomes a party in your marriage. That mother's right will always be an injustice to a party of that marriage.
Let me hear the initial thoughts on this. What are your initial thoughts?
Okay, my initial thoughts, with everything that's just the headline, it has different interpretations. So for someone like me who is mommy's girl, I'm like, what? I can understand making sure that your marriage is about 2 people and not having everybody have a right to, be part of it in such a way that it will be a disservice to the couple involved. But the first person out of my marriage, I think maybe the last person out of my marriage would be my mom, in such a way, in the way that we still need her guidance, we need her advice. She's done it before me. There are things that I could go back to her for. So not necessarily I'm smart enough, I'm old enough, I'm mature enough to understand to what extent my mom can, the role that she can play within my marriage, but
I found it a bit reckless for her to make a general statement that all mothers, or the first person that made generalize it that much. I just felt that because some of us have good mothers who have actually helped to build. So if somebody has had an experience of a bad mother getting involved in a marriage to destroy it, don't project that on everybody. Some of us have good mothers who actually their job is to help you to build yours and support and guide. My mother is one. It's not like I call her for every single thing. There's a time where we fight and I don't involve my mom. But there are times where I have an issue and I go to her and she just tells me and helps me to build and get me. Yes, I go to her.
So let's separate it. Because if we're not careful here, we'll mix it up. You as her daughter go to her for counseling. It's just like you going to, I go to Atibimbo, I go to, but I go. I take the advice.
But that's not what she's saying us. She's saying don't involve.
This woman has seen, except you've not seen, I have an angelic mother. I can't even imagine my marriage without my mom. My childbearing without my mom. My issues are being through infertility, through my childbirth, through the most trying of pregnancies without my mom. But I clearly agree with her. Imagine that, and I know some strong-willed mothers. Okay, there was a marriage case I had, and I couldn't believe it. This man, over-honored his mom. And the mom never waits to understand why things will happen. So your wife is on the phone, and she's taking a call with her friend, and they're having a conversation. And the mother just gets 2 lines of that conversation. She calls her son immediately. I've told you this your wife. She's in the house. She brought the maid. She will call the maid. She will ask for questions. There are 3 parties in that marriage. Till the matter led to a breakup. They didn't believe it because the woman had trying pregnancies. She would say to her, even women, all these kind of women, how many abortions did she have?
But
now the woman had a child and she had ulcer. And so she had an ulcer attack after a CS session. Of course, you end up in the hospital, but you were there. You were on the phone, constantly telling your son that she's asking for money, that, you know, she's costing you money. And before we knew, you picked up a child saying that you want to earn your...
That's one... You're describing... You're describing a type of person. Yes. You are. No. Nima, when somebody calm down, hang it. No, I want to remind you where this conversation is coming from. We are talking about somebody saying that your mother is the first person you should keep out of marriage.
Out of your marriage. That general statement, apply it whichever way you want. Let your mother be your mother. She's not your wife. Clearly, see, there's no apology about it. She can never be your wife. But don't displace her role as a mother. Be eternally grateful to that. Separate the two and make the decision obvious.
Okay, fine. Point taken. So you are saying it in the role of the mother being... let me finish. Based on what you're saying, you're saying where the mother is influencing her son. But they are, calm down, they are mothers who positively influence both their son and their mother. Where do you place that one with this statement? Yeah. Where do you place that that mother? Well, how do you discard and discountenance the role she plays in building her children's marriage when you categorically say your mother is the first thing to take out of a marriage? Doesn't make any sense. My issue is the generalization. They are wicked mothers, absolutely, but they are good mothers too. Let me let Mariam come in here.
So, Morai, I agree completely with you. And for what I see you're trying to explain, Nima, is you're describing a type of mother. We know that not every woman who has carried you in her womb is really motherly or nurturing. Some people have given stories of how their own mothers have been the reason for, breakup in their homes or things going bad with them because of bad decisions or just the way that that woman is made or how she thinks. But we also have people who will tell you stories of how a mother has helped their marriage or has helped to build them up. There are some people I know, in fact, there's this particular story I know that her son was misbehaving in his marriage. It was the influence of his mother that turned him around. Imagine in that sort of case where you push that woman aside. Exactly. It had nothing to do with that.
Exactly.
So what we're saying is, of course, there's a difference between a wife and a mother. I mean, it's clear. We do not even have to debate that.
Yeah.
We know that. But what we're saying is that there's a role that she can play as mother in a marriage, as a mother to the couple.
Let me take this call and I'll come to you, Nima. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. You're live.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
My name is Jose.
Okay. Welcome to the show. You're live. Go ahead, Jose.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, I've really enjoyed your show for a very long time.
Thank you.
Okay, concerning this case, I understand what we are saying. Like me, when I got married, and my mother-in-law, I noticed, there's a difference, especially when she came to nurse the baby, the way she bathed the baby and everything. I was telling my mama, see the way he's bathing the baby. My mom said, if you can't stay there and watch her bathe that baby, go inside your room and lock the door. She took care of your husband, and your husband is alive. That is how they bathe their baby in their home. So let her be. There are actually some mothers that will help you. My mother helped me. There was a day I called, my sister-in-law came in, she left. He said, how many minutes will it take you to wash those plates? My friend, go and call. And with time, if I don't call my mother-in-law in a week, she will call, my wife, where are you? It didn't start like that. But my mom helped me to understand that if you so love your husband, you have to love everything about him. You have to be patient. And for me, my own experience, it worked out. There are sometimes I will be the one to tell my husband, please, can you just bring your mother? Let's take care of her.
All right.
If the distance is much.
Thank you very much, Jose.
So, yes.
Thank you very much. Yes, Nima.
So thank you for trying to be in the middle of a lot of issues that women have in their marriages. Mothers are mothers. As a son, just as a son can go to his mother, so can you as a daughter-in-law seek your mother-in-law's counsel over issues. Actually, when you notice that the level of judgment is of high standing, she knows that place where she comes in. But the moment she doesn't know the place and you are not wise enough to observe it, you're in trouble. So not all mothers, and because we are humans, even not all friends, not the line.
Now you are speaking our language.
No, I'm not speaking your language. You have not seen the worst of it. So both of you are
changed
in
it
a
and
position.
said not all. You see, you qualified it when you said not all. Initially, it was a blanket statement.
I still go back. Okay, let me reiterate.
Please.
Kick mothers out of your marriage.
Okay.
Distinguish the sides, the roles, and clearly stick to those rules. When it comes to issues that are to be discussed and agreed upon between yourself and your wife, you can ask around anybody, including your mother, for advice. But when it comes to making the decision, make the decision based on what you and your wife have agreed upon. Now,
okay, I
laid the foundation on the place mothers are, religious-wise, that's as a Muslim. And traditionally, mothers are matriarch of the home, they control the home, even into their son's wife, and the woman has to... Wait, let me finish. In the south where I'm from, a woman will get to a particular age before she makes idegbe in Esako. And idegbe means that you have now matured in the family, you have reached a role where you two are a decision maker. So you have to work your way up. And up until you get to that point, you are the mercy of a mother-in-law, whether her judgment is balanced or not. So if your husband does not know what he's doing and does not have a balanced judgment, you will suffer for years. Our mothers waited for years. I know a woman who said to her daughter-in-law, hold on a minute, Murayo, that it is in our culture, in our family, for them to marry anyhow. And we always them will line up like this and be insulted all their lives. And she's the matriarch who could have changed this decision. But if their sons were mature enough to know this is wrong, and this woman has certain rights.
So based on what you said, there are two different experiences out of your marriage. Based on what you've said, and I think I agree with you. Based on what you've said, there are two parts of it. There's a part of running our home. Is your mother involved? That we all agree never. Because you are independent, you are a mature man. But when you say, I'm having an issue, and I'm having an issue. Who do I talk to? I can talk to my mother. So we're saying two different things. You are saying the home as a structure. No, we agree. Don't involve because my own mother, I'm almost done. My own mother is not involved in our daily runnings. I don't go to her the way, do I cook rice today? Do I do this? I don't go to her for the best. I don't go to her to want to move to this house, want to buy this car. I don't ask her for those things. She's not involved in that conversation. The conversation I'm involved in is where I am hitting a roadblock and I feel that this plan is not getting to me. What do I do? That's when I go for advice. Let me take this call and I come to you.
Advice.
So there are two different things, Nima. Let's talk to this caller. Thanks. Are you there?
Hello. Good morning.
You're live, Fred. Go ahead, please. Tweet, please.
Yes, I am calling from Calabar. This is for the very first time. I don't know your protocols of calling.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really enjoy the dialogue that is going on there. I really enjoy it. It is quite unfortunate that in our generation today, we are having children becoming wives and children becoming husbands. So they don't really know what are the protocols, what are the things that is needed to have a successful marital home. There is no how you will be successful in your marriage as a husband or as a wife without the knowledge of the people that were there before you. For example, the one that is very close to you is your parents and your elders. And now the topic before all of us now is that how to push your very mother outside your marriage. We should be very, very careful about what is happening in our generation today, because they are making us to shoot our moral standard from what is obtainable, what we are supposed to follow, and now to ready us to what is now creeping into our generation today. How can somebody on earth ask us to push our mothers away from our marriage? How? For the mere fact that somebody somewhere who had his own, because the person was not following the discipline of the parents, and now was looking for a good way to run out and go out.
All right, Fred. Point taken. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So I started matter how do we involve our mothers? And I think it's important that we make that clarity.
From the last caller's talk, I needed to say again, because I'm sure I'm making distinctions here. Your mothers are in your life for life.
Okay.
Your wife comes in at some point. If you forget her role, this is where you make your wife an appendage in her home, squatter in her home, someone who has to you know, culturally in Africa, you have to bow to your mother-in-law.
You don't have to.
No,
you don't have to.
You know, you have put America inside.
No, it's the
I tell you people.
I'm talking about today's reality. I'm talking about today. Today's reality.
Auntie, I said culture now. I did not say what we have now modified it to be.
Okay.
I don't have to kneel to my mother-in-law. Okay. I have a perfect relationship now. Yeah. Everybody knows and respects, you know, the relationship. I have amazing siblings with my husband's siblings. But the role still has to be clear. In our traditional Africa, they will buy yawo sileni. When they buy sileni, you come in, they accept you into family. Yes. You will now honor family up and down. I remember my sister marrying in the West here, and we were kneeling down. Kneeling down. We don't do.
After that day,
no, even after the event, you'll be kneeling down. So culturally, that's what it is. Okay. And there's a place called Yawole, and I know that the people in Oyo State hold it very high. Okay. So those are cultures that if a man doesn't put small barriers there to protect his wife.
Oh yeah, we absolutely agree with you on that.
So
one.
when the caller was cleverly saying, how can somebody ask you to kick your mother out, not out of your life?
Okay, it's important that you clarify that.
No, I have been saying it. Since I have been talking, I've been saying it. Don't be mischievous.
Your mother is in your life. Let us be. Your mother is in your life, but her role is mother. Not to be involved in the running of your home. Where we are, what we are saying.
What is dangerous?
What we are saying.
The dangerous line. So people are safe when you assume that we are safe when we assume some mothers are good, some mothers are not. Subtle, kind opinion, not sorted, can destroy marriages.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So the issue is not the mother. The issue is the man.
Okay. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Sometimes the issue is the woman.
It could be the woman too.
If we're going to talk about people who should not be in a marriage, in fact, in some marriages, the man and the woman should not even be in the marriage.
Exactly.
If we're going that way, we're just saying that everybody has a role to play in our lives as married people. Our children also have a life to play. There are people who will say to you, take your children completely out of your marital issues. They believe it, they follow it, but there are some people who have brought in their children in some of their issues when they speak about, so that children are aware of things that go around. With mothers, it is almost impossible. I don't know, except if you've never had a good relationship with your mother, except if your mother has proven over time, even before you were married, that she's a toxic person. Yeah. I do not even see how the moment I get married, I put a barricade immediately and my mother is not part of that marriage. My mom also, if we're just talking about, we're talking about different kinds of mothers. My mom recently came to visit, and there are things that I was doing that she thought, I should do this more for your husband. My husband would never have said it to me. No one would have said it. But if she did not mention it, but if she did not mention it to me, if it was that relationship of keep your mouth shut, I would not have gotten that advice. I would not have learned something that is due to improve my home.
Keep your mouth shut. Advice when it's sought. Now, mothers could even, live in the home, live with their children, and still know the place.
I agree.
So a woman or a man who's constantly saying, Mommy, yesterday even my husband, he was saying, and mother would say, when it was my husband time, we did not get, your father,
immature minds.
Yes. How many minds do you see the minds?
Nima, I have a story of a mother who was in her daughter's marriage. She saw the way her daughter was talking to her husband, very disrespectful. It was actually somebody's book I read. She was very disrespectful because that's how her father used to talk to her mother. Her mother, knowing that this my daughter, practically took this attitude from her father, was in the home and advised her daughter, "Well, you don't talk to your husband that way."
God bless her.
That's it. So she didn't say behind it that she not cite. She didn't seek her mother's opinion. She was going down doing her mother just called me, "Auntie, come here." Come here. She's intervened without being invited, and she told the objective was to build. So the point is that the point we are making, we agree with you that there are mothers who do that. Come and do that for all my children. There are those kind of mothers. That one is there. Those kind of mothers, you don't involve them. But if you have a mother who is a wise woman, who is a woman who has been through life and is willing to help you build your own marriage, that is value to you as a woman and as a man.
Value to you. Value to your husband as well.
Exactly.
As what?
As an advisor.
Not as an appendage, not as a party to your marriage.
Nobody wants a mother to a party.
No, but if you don't draw the line from beginning,
she's even in the mother-in-law. She's an appendage.
Let me explain.
She's legally an appendage.
An example. I remember clearly when I had my child, there was a fight.
Let me pause. After we break, we'll take this example. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Now, because you've used all the words I'd like to use often about just being, if you're a good person, you're a good person. As a wife, a mother, a daughter, a son, you know, a friend. And good people do good things. Kind people do kind things. If you're a miserable person, if you're a mean person, you'll be mean in everything you do.
And going back to the issue of maturity, because when you're in the marriage, as you said, you know, you have that discerning, the discernment of who is giving you bad or good advice. So even if you're a man or the woman in the marriage, and you involve your mother, to a certain extent, and you feel like, okay, what mommy is saying might not be correct. You yourself, because you're a mature person yourself, you should be able to discern and know what is right and what's wrong.
Mischievous again, but no, seriously, no, this is not being mischievous. So what is good to you might not be good to your husband. So my mother can maybe be, and it's usually the decisions they make is based on what they experience in their lives. They don't mean bad.
Right.
So your mother who comes to your house with a goal, forcing your wife to take it so she can have a child, it's a goal they used to solve her own in her own time. Right. And the people she consults also have a goal, and the end goal aim of it is to help your wife through infertility to have a child. It's not necessarily evil.
True. Very correct.
So based on their experiences, that's how they'll come. And because their experiences and their intentions are good, and you as a child or a son of your mother or a daughter of your mother was fed that goal in your life, you'll be looking at your wife strangely. But the mother does not necessarily have control on all their lagbos in Nigeria, so that she will have a perfect solution, or you know the content of what they've given, and might be harming your wife. I mean, so allow your wife, say, I cannot, I don't want, and you know, but when you have so strongly, I know a tribe that I forbade to marry.
Don't say tribe.
No, I'm not mentioning them. I forbid myself.
That's not who use tribe. Let's not generalize.
No. This particular tribe, they have that custom.
Okay, let me
come to
Mariam if I take this call. Well, I have the quick hang in there, Mariam. Hello, are you there?
I am there.
You're live, Daniel. Go ahead, please.
All right. Good morning, I'm the first time caller.
Good morning.
First time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Well, this discussion this morning is very interesting. And one of the things that, from what you have been saying, is this aspect of generalizing mother. There are good mothers. And I want to agree with you that the area that your mother is playing in your life does not have to get into your marriage. How and what did I mean? You see, there are good mothers, and there are mothers that is domineering in nature. They want to prove things that happen in their son's life, and wants to also use that influential to control the marriage. And for me, what I feel that is the right thing as a man in the home, you must be the one that will draw the boundary.
That's all.
Regulate your mother, and make sure it doesn't overstep her band. Because once your mother just come in and take over, you will not be able to enjoy the marriage. I can give you an instance of something that I did when I got married early. And the crisis was like when you give money out, when you do some certain things, it will become choky, because the demand is going to be high. And the new young lady you just got married to wants to understand you as the husband. But when the external body are choking you, as a person, you just have to pull out. So what I did is that I want my wife, and I want to build my home. I make an edge around my wife and cover her. Any other external counsel and advice that want to take the home into instability, I cover it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Daniel, for that. Yes, Mariam.
You know, sometimes I'm just afraid of how we always paint the African mother. The African mother, she will raise you, and then when you get to a certain point where you are married, then she's the one you have to build a hedge around to protect yourself from. You know, I get that narrative, and it makes me very uncomfortable and so unfair. You can build a hedge around anybody who is bad, and if that woman has good intentions. So, like Nima was talking about, a person who wants your wife with good intentions to take a go that, you know, the woman does not want to take. But we're talking of a woman who has good intentions. We're talking of a woman who has a mature mind. And then it means that she's the sort of person I can also approach to give her the reason why I cannot take this agbo. And I'm hoping, based on her maturity and her good intention, she understands where I'm coming from. And says, okay, no. What I'm trying to say is that she understands. She says, this is what I brought to you. But if you do not want to have it, it's fine. I get where you're coming from. But that would not be the cause of problem in my house. It will not be the reason why she will stop talking to me or asking my husband to be, to be angry at me. She would understand. She will understand that it's okay to disagree, but in an agreeable way, and to move on.
I live with my mother. My mother-in-law lives with me. I live with my grandmother-in-law. My husband's grandmother lives. They both live in my house. And I know that when they initially came, my mother-in-law did not understand taking custard in the morning for the children or quicker. I was speaking Ubele. For her, they're all artificial food. That can't they have proper breakfast before they go to school? I said, sorry, mommy, this is the quickest thing, especially in the morning going to school. That's what we can do. The quicker oats, the drinking cornflakes, like they should eat yam. They should eat proper food so that they'll be sleeping. They'll be sleeping in school. I said, I'm sorry.
She's right, by the way.
I said no. I prefer them to have their quicker oats and they have their snacks, and that's what we do for many years before mommy came. And when it almost became an issue, I was not allowed to enter. Mommy, leave her how she's. That's what she has chosen to give her own children. But you see, it now brings the role of the man. The men, in fact, yes, not on the fact we're going. The men now have to ensure that you are the one that protect your wife, but it doesn't display or displace the role of the mother as an advisory, because in hindsight, maybe I should be eating that kind of food instead of those.
She's right. Imagine what if she did it this way?
Yes.
What if she woke up earlier than you and says, "This my daughter-in-law does not even get it," and she makes the thing early, and when they come down, they eat the food, and they go. You will not have a problem with it. Someone has taken care of your breakfast for you, and you have time to do something else. That's a solution.
But me, I personally love that. This is how I see it. So there's a general rule, and to every general rule there are exceptions.
Yeah.
So the general rule is what Aisha Yeshufu has said. Put the distinctions, put the pillar, distinguish the relationship.
She didn't say that.
That's what she said.
No, that's not what she said.
That's what you're implying. Or
that's not what she said.
That's what she said. She made a categorical statement.
It was generalization. So that's why I made it the general rule. You said generalizing.
She generalized.
You said that's what she did, and that's why I made it the general rule.
That's
she's a lawyer.
Put it down. Let your mother's place be distinguished from
no problem.
And no play the role.
Yes.
You know how about your angelic mothers like my mother. Still.
Yes, before.
So
my mother will not come and tell me what to do in my house.
Can be discussing the matter for 24 hours.
What she said is that
but it must not be the decision I force on my husband.
Of course.
Me. No, me now. Because we are not talking to ourselves, we are talking to viewers.
Okay.
Yes. You too, as a man, let your mother, the one that kills marriages, is that your mother not only reaches the advice, but calls her son and say, I don't know what your wife is doing. Do you understand me? I think you should go and deal with that issue. I don't want to see her do that again. She's not mean.
That's a wicked person.
She's not mean. She's doing it with all good intentions. But she's forcing it.
But the man should then be mature enough.
Hey, the man not mature enough, can't love his mother pass it. Why putting me go do?
That's not the
the wife go come they suffer. You don't come become squatter. If you don't come, the wife don't become squatter for their house.
Nima, we've had
she don't change her papa name.
We have had these conversations about mommy's voice. We have
not be mommy's voice.
Listen,
that's across.
We've had this conversation actually about the role a husband should play when it comes to his relationship with his mother and his wife, or the daughter too. Her relationship with her family. And we have said that it's important that mature people get married. They should know what they want.
This last one.
Using Mariah's example of that food. If she had come and she had done that and you still didn't want it, you would have the conversation with her and say, please stop it. And she had the good intention enough to respect what happens in the house. We're talking to mature people. We're not talking to children.
Wait now. You get to make conversation. If you don't get to make conversation, okay, this one I will make. Let me just take the tweet.
Maybe it shouldn't even be in that family.
Wait now. Okay, me and my beg take code here. Somebody is agreeing with you. He said, Sister Morayo and Barrister, you are saying the same thing. Assuming that you don't have a mother, you will live your life. Let mothers continue to play their motherly role and not command, but to advise. I wanted to make this example of the Omugo.
Okay.
So your mother is aged. She's tired. She's sick. she cannot do the work because Omugo, whether you like it or not, is a work of 3 months, helping the new mother adjust to motherhood.
Yeah.
But your mother said that because traditionally it's her role, and you do not want to displace her from her role because she will earn the money, you force her on your wife, who's just had this. Because she will earn money, they paid.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
You people should go and learn this culture. When we say culture, now people be saying you know culture. A mother who comes from Omugo, when she's going back, must not go empty handed. She has to show people in the village what she gained from Omugo. It includes all these rappers. That's customs that know the customs. People that know the customs. Okay. Let me finish. Okay. So now your mother comes because it is her role, and you must not deny her the role, but your wife is helpless.
Helpless, but they should
who will help her to carry the baby? She just has CS now. The mother cannot carry. Your mother is actually sick.
Somebody else will do it.
Okay.
Mommy, don't worry. I will send it to you. You don't have to.
If she was living abroad, who will help her? If she was living abroad, what are you talking about?
If she was living abroad, that she has an auntie who can come abroad.
An auntie?
Now your sister will enter airplane.
Auntie is not coming. There are many people abroad that are having their children by themselves. No auntie.
So you see the problem.
Please. That's all we can take on the show. Auntie Bao. Please. Me, thank God I am the host of the show. Aisha Buhari cannot make a blanket statement that your mother is the first person. Please.
Sorry. Aisha Yeshufu, please.
Who does it?
You said Buhari.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, we didn't say
Yeshufu.
Sorry. Aisha Yeshufu cannot make a blanket statement that your mother is the first person you should keep out of marriage. We don't agree. You're like, some mothers are bad, yes. Others are good. Please, know the kind of mother you have and know how to manage her. Fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.